My name is Christian Colte. I'm a Lummi tribal member and I'm currently working towards my Bachelor's of Science in Native Environmental Science here at Enwick.
My name is Brianna Nguyen. I am from Sunamish. I am also working on my BS-NES degree.
And this video was made to showcase some of the work being done here at the Salish Sea Research Center, and we hope you enjoy.
Enjoy!
The Salish Sea Research Center is a $2.2 million facility that was 80% funded by the National Science Foundation under the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act. These funds were intended for shovel-ready projects that are ready to be under construction right away to get American workforce back to work. And as such, this facility was under the Buy American Act, so all of the materials that went into this building, from the concrete to the light switches, were all made in America.
My name is Misty Peacock, and I'm from McKinleyville, California, so Northern California. I am the director of the Salish Sea Research Center at Northwest Indian College, and it entails facilitating student research here at Northwest Indian College, focused on marine research, connecting with the community, connecting Native students with place-based research and education, and the opportunities to complete both lab and field research experiments. So the projects that we're doing are really community focused. They're questions that are important to the Coast Salish people. They're questions that are important to the people who live here in Bellingham, to foster the resources that are available for people. We're looking at making shellfish safe to eat, which is important for subsistence as well as commercial harvest. And we're inviting the community to participate, and we're also inviting the students in.
I am Rosa Hunter. I was born in Seattle, Washington, and I am Nooksack, Jamestown S'Klallam, and First Nations from British Columbia. My job title is the lab manager / researcher, and so I manage the Salish Sea Research Center and just research with the instructors, whatever they need me to do. I am passionate about just science in general and just getting more natives in science. And it doesn't matter what branch of science, as long as they're in the sciences. We just need more natives and any minority group in sciences.
I'm Jesus Morales. I'm from Seattle, and I'm Nooksack S'Klallam in Jamestown. So my internship is I'm working under Missy Peacock and Rosa Hunter, and I'm studying phytoplankton in the Lummi waters. And we're studying them specifically because they cause red tide, which is the I guess you could say the poison or illness of certain crabs, mussels, clams, and you can't eat it once the red tide comes in, also known as harmful algae blooms. And so you can't eat it. So what we're doing is we're studying the phytoplankton that cause these HABs, harmful algae blooms. And we're trying to figure out if we can predict when they come into the Lummi waters. Because during the winter, they're gone because the winter winds are too busy blowing them around and they don't have time to settle, and they need heat also to grow, to bloom in the water. And so we're trying to predict when they come into the Lummi waters during the summer, and if we can find a way, not to prevent it because that's almost nearly impossible, at least to give a warning ahead of time so people won't ingest these toxic shellfish and clams when the HABs start to bloom. This will help the community by being able to predict when the phytoplankton come into our waters. Like during the summer, we see a lot of Cosin discus in the water, and a lot of Lauderia, and a lot of Pleurostigmas. Those are a lot of the phytoplankton that cause HABs. And so during the winter, we take samples and we notice they're not really in the waters during the winter. And so we figured, well, this upcoming December, if we start taking samples through winter and spring and summer, we can kind of see when those phytoplankton start coming into the water. Like, okay, they're not here in the winter yet. They're not here in spring yet. Oh wait, they're here in October kind of. They're starting to show up, they're starting to appear more and more. So we're hoping then we can find out at least the general month of when they appear in our waters so we can let Lummi Natural Resources know.
My name is Tamitra Yazzie. I am from a little town called Holbrook, Arizona, and my tribal affiliation is Navajo Nation. My internship this summer is phytoplankton research, and it entails how biotoxins that phytoplankton produce in the waters, and because of that, not only do shellfish get infected, but some crabs do as well. So we're researching on how the water is contaminated with these toxins that are produced by harmful algae blooms. I didn't know our water contained so many little things. I knew they had stuff in them, but I didn't know how many. And looking under the microscope, it's pretty interesting. That's probably one of the most exciting things, I think, is learning and understanding how our water systems are affected by phytoplankton. And not only that, of them being affected, because they're basically at the base of our food web chain. And so with phytoplankton, shellfish, crab, they eat off of them, things are affecting these as well. We all contribute into that. So identifying that and actually trying to figure out a way how to lessen those things is a really big deal.
My name is Marco Hatch. I grew up in Yakima, Washington, and I'm a member of the Salish Indian Nation. I'm an assistant professor at Western Washington University, and I'm also part of the PAGE program. It's Partnerships in Geosciences. It's a partnership program between Northwest Indian College and Western Washington University, where students complete a Bachelor's of Native Environmental Science at Northwest Indian College. They're eligible for a fully funded master's at Western Washington University in the Environmental Science program. So part of my duties are that of a normal new professor: learn how to teach a bunch of classes, find students, get a research program up off the ground. But additionally, I also interact and liaison with Northwest Indian College and help support student research here and facilitate students as they move to Western Washington University. As a marine scientist, I'm passionate about understanding and learning about how people have interacted with the marine environment and how those interactions have imparted resilience and sustainability, both from the community perspective and also from the environmental perspective.
My name is Mariah Holiday, and I come from the Navajo tribe, or the Diné tribe, out in the southwest, the Four Corners, but I come from Utah, Monument Valley, Utah. So my internship is focusing on clam gardens, starting from the western coast all the way up towards the San Juan Island into Canada at the southern Gulf Islands. And I am working with Marco Hatch and Alex Strudjo from Western Washington University. And with taking a look at clam gardens, we are observing the species of clams within those gardens and the sediment, and how that sediment that accumulates within those clam gardens, how it is beneficial to the developing clams there. And this helps community members understand what traditional methods they are able to apply to those gardens that are beneficial to those clams. I am passionate about helping people. As scientists and even as students here working within Lummi Reservation, I feel like we conduct a lot of work here that is beneficial to the community and to the ecosystem here, and that's what I'm passionate about, working in the science field here at Northwest Indian College and with the SSRC, and yeah, I'm just living my passion right now.
My name is Rachel Arnold, and I'm from Wisconsin. I am a faculty member in the Bachelor of Science in Native Environmental Science program here at Northwest Indian College. During the summers, I get to spend time doing research with my students in the SSRC. My newest project is working on the longfin smelt, which is known as the hooligan to the Lummi people. It's a pretty small little silvery fish that runs up the Nooksack River in November, and we're trying to collect basic biological data that can help us determine whether the population is declining, increasing, and just its overall health. Hopefully, if we can get some baseline data, we can start to establish some knowledge on whether the population is increasing or decreasing, and whether there needs to be protections for this particular population, because the Nooksack River hooligans are a culturally important food source for the Lummi people.
My name's Sheila Cooper, and I am from Everson, Washington, kind of near Deming. I guess no one really knows where that's at. So, and I'm from the Nooksack tribe. In here we're working with the DNA of hooligans, which is the longfin smelt. And we take the fin and one scale off of the smelt. And then from there I bring it over here and do a whole bunch of different processes to it and extract the DNA. This in particular, it's the first of this whole process here at Northwest Indian College. So it's going to help with the next students that come in or further testing down the road.
My name is Andres Casada, and I was born and raised in Costa Rica. I am the Associate Director of the Salish Sea Research Center, and my job entails a little bit of everything. I help manage the grants that we have. I help write grants. I drive the college boat. I help mentor the students. So my job is really broad, but it's really interesting. I really like marine invertebrates. I think that they are fascinating animals, and they're really animals that we often, because we do not live in the water or the ocean, we do not see on a daily basis. And so the ocean has this huge diversity of marine animals, and they're so incredibly different, and they have these really fantastic adaptations to live in the very specific environments of the ocean that they live in. And so they're so diverse that it's really a group that has not been very well studied, a broad group that has not been very well studied. And so I think that there's still a lot to learn about these animals.
Well, I'm Thane Yazzie, and I'm from the Navajo Reservation. So I'm Navajo. I'm also part Mohawk, Odo, and some Cherokee, as well as Caucasian, German, Scottish, and there's a little Dutch in there too. I am the STEM Education Outreach Coordinator at the Salish Sea Research Center for Northwest Indian College, and I am essentially in charge of the outreach that we do with other tribal youth, other community members, schools, organizations, essentially putting together opportunities to learn more about what we do at the Salish Sea Research Center, the different projects that are happening, such as like the Manila clams, the Bellingham buoy, a chance to put us out there as a resource for others too, for knowledge and information. We also make videos and capture media, work with interns. I am passionate about a lot of different things. I'm passionate about music, art, creativity, science. I'm passionate about working with students and helping them engage and learn as much as they can. Also, I think it's really important for students to have a dream and really go for it.